Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. I want to get into this story. Came across a news feed that I follow, and it was from the WJNO News Radio 1290-98. Well, 1290 is probably the AM station. 98.7 is probably the radio station, and it's on HD2. And it's from a guy by the name of brianmudd. This is from the brianmudd Show. I'm gonna put the link in the description. I'm gonna put all his social media links in the description below so you can get all the credit. Might even put the name at the bottom of the screen here so you can see it. I don't want no problems. I don't want a person to go and do this kind of research. He needs all the credit he can get. I don't know the guy, never seen it, don't know who he is, never seen him, don't know his race, ethnicity, don't know his motives behind it, but facts is facts, is the saying, right? So someone asked him a question, and it says, the Q&A of the day, the cost of illegal immigration to you. He said, this is from, like I said, wjno.iheart.com website. And it says, each day I feature a listener question sent by one of these messages. And you got an email at brianmudd@iheartmedia.com, social media at brianmuddradio, and on the iHeartRadio. So here's what he said. This is about the cost of illegal immigration to us as tax-paying citizens. And I think this is important because you can have sympathy for people, you can, or empathy for people, empathize with people's situations, all this and the third, but bottom line is you have to come to reality. And the reality is this stuff is costing taxpayers a lot of money that we don't have. We got enough money already going to Ukraine, Israel, and any other country that we probably don't know. Hundreds of other countries who get millions and millions upon billions of dollars of our taxpayer money, but yet we got problems at home. And we all know, no matter how you slice it and dice it, or what religion or what you believe, you always supposed to take care of home first. And this government is showing that it's not doing that completely, because we got too many people homeless, citizens homeless, too many in prison, too many in poverty, too many. And it's time for a change. And this may be that era. So anyway, let's get into this article. And like I said, just break it down, or like as Mr. Mudd has done, break it down through the eyes and the ears of, in the words of Mr. Mudd. It said, yesterday I, Brian Mudd, brought you the news that Florida isn't just number one for net migration by Americans, but also for asylum seekers. Here's a quick refresh, an updated look at the Syracuse University's immigration tracker. And there's a link you can click on, and I suggest you click on it because I'm gonna go to it here myself. Revealed that entering 2024, there were a total of 481,376 pending asylum cases in the Florida's pipeline. The next closest state was Texas with 458,000 plus, followed by California at 348,000 plus. A typical backlog of cases in Florida is under 20,000. In the midst of a record illegal immigration crisis nationally, we now have greater clarity on what it specifically means to Floridans. Asylum seekers are being brought into Florida by the Biden administration at a rate that is 220% higher than the national average. Which is crazy. Think about, Florida is surrounded by water. How do they get all these dang on me migrants, illegal immigrants, whatever you want to call them? And it's surrounded by water. Maybe, hey, that's maybe just, well, I don't know where they're coming from, but shoot. My thing is, you got to see where them boats. Because, we talk about slavery and people trying to debate if the transatlantic slave trade was the way they claim, with all these people coming up, being brought over here. They said, how you gonna do that when you're on the water for 3 months and people sitting, under a boat, no sun, no food for 3 months, then get over here and then get taken out and sold to slaves? Crazy, right? But Florida, let's say Texas is land. People come up to Texas through land. People come to California on land and water, Texas land. And I don't think they really come to buy Galveston, maybe just kilos of drugs. But other than that, not people. But Florida is surrounded by water. That is very interesting to find out how they got all this backlog of cases. It says Florida is now over 24 times higher than usual. What's more, that most asylum seekers are illegitimate. Over the past decade, asylum has only been granted in 13% of the cases that have been heard, with many migrants never reporting for court dates. Like I say, so many people coming over that people got cases like 5, 6, 7, 8 years out. So that means it just disappeared. The net result is that well over 90% of asylum seekers are legitimate and are determined to be illegal immigrants. At a minimum, that means that under the first 3 years of the Biden administration and the administration's direction, at least 418,000 new illegal immigrants have been brought into our state at our expense. Let me go to this link where it says Syracuse University. So I think that's pretty legit. And you click on this link and it shows immigration court backlog through December 2023. And it shows every state, immigration court state, immigration court, and nationality, where they come from. And it just shows you how many pending cases they have with all charges. Let me see. So criminal charges. So let's just go to the number of cases of all charges. When we talk about charges like crimes like crimes and then like I said, immigration crime, like come out here illegally and you got a court date. Can't keep it in prison. There's too many of you. There's too many of them. So when I go to pending cases, all charges, let's just say like Florida, it says, in 2024 of the whole, all the United States and surrounding islands, it's 3,287,058 cases. So in the great state of Texas, we have 458,630 cases. And let's say it breaks it down into cities, like Dallas has 196,000 cases. San Antonio has 106,000 cases. Then you got Houston, El Paso, Laredo. It's amazing how Dallas and San Antonio have so many. And then it shows the nationality of the people and where they come from. You got Venezuela, Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Cuba, Colombia, Nicaragua, Peru, Roman Indian, India, Haiti, Afghanistan, Turkey, China. People from China. You would think that, as much as people harp on how these Asians are so smart and law-abiding and bring all this money, you got people that ain't hot. It's like 300. Folks from Russia, Panama, got some unknown nationalities. Egypt, Brazil, Belize, man, they come from all Dominican Republic, Ethiopia. Man, you got Uganda, Ukraine, only 27. Amazing. Israel, they come from all Israel. Well, I can't believe people over here illegally from Israel. We go, man, Lord, it goes all the way down to French Guyana with one, Switzerland. So just people over here that and sometimes people may just overstay their visa or whatever. Let's say first there's the taxpayers' expense of processing and relocating these illegal immigrants in our state. Then there's what happens once they establish themselves in our community, which takes us to today's question. I think I went over this on an earlier video, but this dude broke it down thoroughly. Shout out to Mr. Mudd. Having extensively covered the border crisis for 2 decades. Man, okay, that's why he got study takes time, including having previously worked in exposing and stopping the covert dumping of illegal immigrants in Broward and Palm Beach County prior to the Biden administration. There's a lot that isn't known or reported that should be. There are 3 basic ways in which asylum seekers and illegal immigrants create cost burdens for our society. The first, if they're under federal custody in detention centers. From the detention center to the relocation costs of asylum seekers and what happens once they get here, the costs have become astronomical. Based on the data from the Center of Migration Studies, 63% of households headed by a non-citizen use at least one welfare program. Compared to native households, non-citizen households are more than twice as likely to end up on government assistance. Here's the thing, I remember saying that I feel that the welfare program, the way it should be allocated should be done like in 2-year increments, 18 months, 2-year increments for citizens. To stick to citizens, that they should, you have your housing pretty much paid for, you get food, medication, hell, even school. But you got 2 years to get a degree. You can get your 2-year degree, a certification, learn a trade, something. But you got 2 years because financially, the government will pay for everything for up to 2 years. After 2 years or 18 months or what have you, we'll go back, reevaluate it, because sometimes things happen. You go through hardships. People get sick, people die, things happen. Relationships break up. People just be in situations, things that they can't control. So you might have to have a little extension, but you're only for a limited time. After that, you'd be on probation for like a few years, like you can't get no more. And I said that, but here's a problem with that. Now that I think about it, looking at this, poor people, not all, but people with let me say it like this, people with no way of making money, or they feel they have no way of making money or making ends meet, may have a tendency to commit crimes to make ends meet. And people might, some folks might say, I don't like the way I said that, so I don't know how to phrase it to where you would like it. But it's true. Poor people rob and kill poor people. People under the poverty level. You just look at it, and they be in prison. People coming from single parent homes or raised by grandparents or foster care. Not gonna say a lot of them, but a lot of the crimes are committed in those areas. And it's just the studies show that the less money that is in the community, the less opportunities to make legal money in the community, crime rates go up proportionally. So if you take away the programs from people and they have no way of defending themselves, a lot of people now, like myself, we will find a way to make it happen. Without going through illegal means, we'll get out there and, go out there and shoot. We'll do notaries, we'll sell products, we'll do something, deliver, drive, or we'll find some kind of way to make money, to make ends meet, to get the bare necessities. But some people don't. And some people turn to a life of crime. And I believe that may be one of the reasons why the government keep this program going on. I think, I'm not sure. But then again, I can't tell because of how they letting people just commit crimes coming over in this country is, beyond me. But anyway, it's just something to kind of ponder on. It said, compared to native households, non-citizen households are more than twice as likely to end up on government assistance. The longer an illegal immigrant is in the U.S., the more likely they are to end up on assistance. Of households headed by non-citizens in the United States for fewer than 10 years, 50% use one or more welfare programs. For those here more than 10 years, the rate is 70%. So people, they come over here supposedly to get jobs for a better life. Maybe it's better than where they're from. I get that. But they get in the system and then they get comfortable, which is what a lot of citizens do, which is why we say the program should be limited to a certain amount of years, try to get people off their tail. Which is why it makes no sense to allow these people to come over here like this. No retribution or repercussion. Not retribution, that's a big word. The program is being explored to run the gambit on welfare programs, money on financial welfare, housing, Medicaid, SNAP, WIC, school lunch. In Florida, they have the 4th highest rate of abuse of these programs by non-citizens. In answer to today's question, according to the National Academy study of the fiscal impact of illegal immigrants, the average net financial impact of each illegal immigrant is $68,000. Ain't that like a prisoner? Ain't that how much it costs each person, like to house a prisoner, give or take? Data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics reveal what likely the most alarming information relating to illegal immigration to date. Illegal immigrants or non-citizens, as the report identifies them, are nearly 10 times more likely to commit a federal crime than the average American federal crime. Here are the key figures. Non-citizens are over 7% of the estimated population. Non-citizens account for 64% of federal arrests. And I don't want to hear anything about numbers can be skewed or flipped on this here, because y'all are trying to say that black people, only 12% of the population could commit the majority of the crimes. And we like, no, we ain't committing the majority of the crimes because you just harassing us the majority of the time. And then people say, shoot, people with money commit crimes. Might be different, but they still do the same thing. So we're gonna go with these numbers. This makes non-citizens 914% more likely to commit a federal crime than the average American. Imagine how much less crime we have if we didn't have a legal immigration crisis. And what crimes are we talking about? These are the top crimes prosecuted: 28% of all federal fraud, 25% of property crimes, 24% of all drug trafficking arrests. If you get rid of them, you're still gonna have it, but at this rate, you need to take them off. 1.25% of all federal fraud is now coming from illegal immigrants. Nearly 1/4 of drug trafficking as well. The estimated low end cost of crimes and processing within the criminal justice system, to speak nothing of the impact of the lives of victims, is approximately $28 billion annually. When we put the whole ball of wax together, here's the entire picture. So here we go. Break it down. I got shout out again to what's his name, brianmudd. The net effect of asylum seekers / illegal immigrants, according to last year's study from FAIR, which includes contributions to society, including taxes paid by illegal immigrants, total $151 billion. To put that in perspective, that's about $35 billion more than the budget for the entire state of Florida. That leads to a cost per taxpayer of $1,156 per year. I ain't got that kind of money to give. I live in Texas, but I'm just saying, Florida wise, I ain't got that kind of money to be giving to people who committing crimes, who ain't doing right. This crisis is real, it's growing, it won't just magically work out, and its cost is very real in hard dollars to all of us and to the many victims that are created as a result of the actions of many. There are two sides to the story and one side to facts. These are the facts. These is the facts. So there you have it in a nutshell. Like I say, go to this link, and click on all these links so you can see the data for yourself. This is what it boils down to. You're a tax-paying citizen. You want your taxes to go to help your country, to help other citizens, to help your neighborhood. And when you gotta use, and people, you might think, $1,000 ain't much for each taxpayer. How much do you think we pay per year for taxes? When we have when people try to vote, they put these emotions on the ballot about, we want to raise school tax like 4 cents. We want to raise property tax like 4 cents so we can pay for these roads and stuff like that. And people vote it down. And you're like, man, what's 4 cents? Well, 4 cents today, 4 cents yesterday, 4 cents last year. It's going to add up to, by the end of the year, it's a lot. You're paying a lot of taxes for things, and people want to know, what am I getting out of it? I want my dollars used specifically for the improvement and the betterment of my community, period. Anything else, should we leave that out to the wolves? You let that go with the tide, but we can't be responsible for it. So that's your issue. The Biden administration is made a bad problem worse. And it's basically time for them to go. I know Joe Biden is holding the country hostage, saying if he can't get a bipartisan bill, he won't close the borders. That right there in itself, dude, you gone. You can best believe I'm gonna make sure everybody I know to not vote for you. Sure, if we ain't voting, I don't care. Well, no, I'm not. Well, I'm gonna just say Democrats. The Democrats are behind this, and they going with it. until they sit there and buck the system and say, hey, this ain't gonna work, Democrats won't get my vote. Republicans, if they say they're gonna do something to curb this and dissipate this and try to get rid of this as soon as possible, they will get my vote. Or I just might not vote and just sit on the couch. Whatever it is, but this is ridiculous. But anyway, tell me what you think about the story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. Don't forget, marlonmorale.com for all your luxury accessory needs, perfume, cologne, beard kits, silk scarves for the women, and more. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.